Hey guys, so today I am back with another book haul, and this is probably going to be it for book hauls for a while. Well, no, that's a lie. I have a book outlet order on the way, and one book from Barnes & Noble on the way, and a couple of thrift books on the way. But maybe those will just be like kind of my end of June book haul books, because I have been buying books like crazy, if you guys have not noticed by all of my massive book hauls. But this one isn't so big. I think there's probably about 15 books or so, and a lot of them were from book outlets. So yes, I am just going to jump right in. So let's get started. First two books I have here are both by Rowell. So I have Attachments, which is the Booksplosion book of the month, and I am about 30 pages into it or so, and it's pretty good so far. And then I also bought Eleanor and Park because, I mean, I had to complete my Rowell collection because I have Fangirl back there, and now I have all of her currently published books. I know there's Landlines coming out soon. The next book I have is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, and this is the collector's edition. I do have the regular edition, which is currently being lent out to my mom. But yeah, I'm rereading this right now because the movie comes out really soon, and I really wanted to reread it, even though I only read it like a couple months ago. But I just wanted to immerse myself in the story again before seeing the movie because I just love this book so much. And if you have not read it yet, please go read it because it is just the most incredible story about how you don't need to live until you're 90 to live a full life. You can live a full life and still be young, if that makes sense. At least that's what it means to me. So I really enjoyed this book and I highly recommend it. So the next set of books I have here are all from Chapters, and the first one is The One and Only by Emily Giffin, and this is one of my favorite kind of adult or chick lit authors because I love her stories, and I'm really excited because this is like kind of a big book compared to, like, for example, Something Borrowed. These are, The One and Only is a little bit bigger and a little more substantial than Something Borrowed. Something Borrowed is some kind of thin. So this was literally released like maybe a week ago, and it's just about a 33-year-old woman who has spent her entire life in this small town, and then I guess some sort of tragedy strikes and she starts to kind of question all of the people that she trusts and if she maybe made the right choice by staying in this small town instead of leaving to go to like the city or something like that. And yeah, so I'm really excited about this. And I love how Emily Giffin's hardcovers are like really tall. Like, let's compare this to Fangirl. So you can see that Emily Giffin's hardcovers are all pretty big, and I really like that about them. So yeah, I'm excited for this book. So this is all part of the Cousins' War by Philippa Gregory, and I already own The White Queen, which was the first book published in this series, and I've started it. I'm only like 30 pages into it though, but I really like it. I'm just reading so many books right now that I can't really focus on this one, so I just kind of set it aside until I finish a couple of books. But basically, this series is about the Yorks, and I think it's... Okay, so I wanted to say Lancaster, and I was right. I just wasn't sure if I was mixing that up with, like, Game of Thrones. Okay, so basically when you open the Red Queen and the White Queen, I'm not sure about the other books yet, but there's a map, which my light is not allowing you to see. Come on, there we go. And it just says the Lancaster victories and the York victories, and basically Elizabeth Woodville is the White Queen, and the Red Queen is Margaret Beaufort, and she is the cousin of Henry VI. She is Lancaster, and Elizabeth Woodville, the White Queen, is York. And basically it's just about how these two families are kind of fighting for the right ownership to this land, and it is based on history, but I mean, I'm not too familiar with it, so that's why I really wanted to read these so I could kind of become more knowledgeable about the royal history, because I really like learning about that. So the first one is, well, the first one is the White Queen, and then the Red Queen And then there's another one that I didn't buy, but that's The Lady of the Rivers, and that one is supposed to be before The White Queen, but it was published as like the third book, so it doesn't really matter if you read it after. And it's just about, I think, the White Queen's mother. The next book is The Kingmaker's Daughter, and then The White Princess. And I think that's it. Yeah, there's one more coming out called The King's Curse, but it hasn't been published yet. So far I have almost the entire series. I just need to get The Lady of the Rivers. And what really bothers me about this series is that the spines of the White Queen and the Red Queen match. Like, they match so perfectly, and you can tell that this one's the White Queen, this one's the Red Queen, but then these spines don't match at all. It's like, what? Why wouldn't they make them the same? Because this is like so pretty. And I love the White Queen cover. I think it's so gorgeous. And then this like kind of metallic detail up here is just really, really nice, and I like it. So the next book I bought from Chapters was We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, and this has been getting a ton of hype on BookTube, and it's a pretty quick read. I mean, it's a really, really thin book, so I should be able to get through it in like one day. And there's not really much about it in the synopsis. Like, it doesn't really tell you much about what this book is about, so it's like kind of a mystery. And yeah, so I will definitely be reading this, if not this month, then in June. And the last book from Chapters that I got is The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. And this is kind of a dystopian, I guess, where everyone in this town can hear everyone else's thoughts. The main character, Todd, he stumbles across this area of total silence, and then he discovers something big about the town that the town is hiding, and he needs to run away. But how do you run away if everyone can hear your thoughts? You have to be really careful not to think about it. So I'm excited. Everyone seems to really love this book, so I'm excited to get into it. And it's pretty long, almost 500 pages. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about this. Okay, so the rest of the books in this haul are all from Book Outlet, and the first one is You Have 7 Messages by Stuart Lewis, and this is one that I've been eyeing on there for a while, and I just never bought it. Like, I would have it in my cart, but then I'd find something that I'd rather buy first, so I just kind of kept putting it off, and so I finally got it. And it's about this woman whose mother dies, and then when she's going through her stuff, she finds her cell phone, and it has 7 messages on it, and she realizes that maybe she doesn't know the whole truth about her mother's life, and yeah, she's just trying to piece everything together. So sounds pretty interesting, and again, it's a really quick one, so it shouldn't take too long to get through. The next two are books that I've been thinking about getting for a while, but they've had mixed reviews, so I wasn't sure. And it's Ellen Blair Fowler's books. The YouTubers, they do beauty videos, and I've been watching them both for years. And that's Beneath the Glitter and Where Beauty Lies. And these are pretty thin books as well, so they shouldn't take too long to get through, and they're kind of just like fluffy, contemporary, like you don't have to think too much when you're reading them, so I mean, that's cool. And I really love the covers, to be honest. I love what they did with the covers, and the spines are really pretty. So yeah, I don't know. I'll read them probably sometime in the summer, like at the beach or something, when I just want something easy to read. The next book I have is Another Little Piece by Kate Carius Quinn. This is kind of like a horror young adult fiction novel, and I don't know, it just seems really different from anything that I've ever read, and there's not a whole lot in the synopsis. It just says, a reckless wish taken from the darkest desires of the heart, a bloody razor engraved with the names of girls who turn to dust, an endless cycle that feeds off loneliness and craves destruction. Together, these pieces form a twisted puzzle that Annalise Reese Gordon has to solve. Trapped in a body that isn't hers, with no memory of how she got there, she must unlock the secrets of her past in order to escape the horrors of her future. So yeah, it's interesting. The next book I bought off of Book Outlet is really exciting because it was just kind of a fluke that they had it on there, I think. They didn't have very many copies, and I've seen people haul this before, but they never said they got it from Book Outlet, so I think they probably paid full price on Amazon for it, and that's the Alice's Adventures in Wonderland that's illustrated by Camille Rose Garcia, and it's all these like kind of creepy designs. And this book, for being so thin, it's like really heavy. It's heavier than probably Fangirl. Like, it's probably as heavy as Fangirl. Like, that's really weird to me. But, yeah, so it just has like all of these illustrations throughout the book, and like here's one right here. It's just like really cool, and I was so excited to find it on Book Outlet because I had been planning on buying it, but I would have bought it from Amazon. And the dust, underneath the dust jacket, it's got this really pretty pink metallic A, and then it says Alice's Adventures in Wonderland in pink on the side. So it's just a really cool looking book, and yeah, I've never actually owned the actual Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, so I'm excited to read this. So the rest are all fairy tale retellings because I've just been in that mood lately, although I haven't been reading them yet because I'm planning on doing kind of a fairy tale retelling TBR, probably for June or July. So yeah, this next one is Beastly by Alex Flynn. And I've never even seen the movie. Like, I hadn't even heard of it. I heard of the book before I heard of the movie, so I really want to read this and then watch the movie to see what it's like. And yeah, it's just a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and it's retold in New York City, which is really cool. The next one I have is really interesting, and it's called The Fairest of Them All by Carolyn Turgeon, and this one is about Snow White and how Rapunzel is like evil, and I think she's her stepmother, but I could be wrong. But yeah, it's just really different, and I don't know, it's really cool sounding, and I'm excited to read it. And the last book I have here was also written by Alex Flynn, the one who wrote Beastly, and that's called Towering, and this is a retelling of Rapunzel. And so yeah, this is more of like kind of a classic retelling and not where she's evil, I guess. And I think this Alex Flynn has written a couple more fairy tale retellings that I'd like to read. But yeah, I'm really excited to get into this. So those are all the books that I bought over the past few weeks. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't quite as big as my other hauls, but I think that's better for my wallet, you know? So yes, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Want you, need you, it's the call of the wild. Something animal more than physical. Satisfy me 'cause I'm falling